Good morning, everyone. So, are we called to have a good life? That's what we're going to talk about briefly this morning. Let's go ahead and get into prayer. Dear Father, we ask that you open our hearts, open our eyes, open our ears. Allow us to hear your word. Allow us to follow your Son deeper and deeper and deeper. We are so glad that you sent him as an example. Yahushua HaMashiach. Selah. So, really quickly, whenever somebody says, well, Yahuwah, or the Most High, he wants us to have a good life here, too, when we start talking about the work that we're doing, etc. This is what we have to do in that moment. We have to say, I rebuke you, Satan. Right? Because this path is not easy. The cost of discipleship is laid out many, many times by Yahushua. And he's always telling people they have to give up everything. And if they love the world, they don't love the Father. And these harsh things that are hard for people to understand, which is why they create an entire religion, which makes them not have to take accountability, which becomes a very broad way. It's really easy. You just say a salvation prayer and you're there. You don't actually have to pick up your stake and follow him like he says, right? And that is literally blasphemy. That's why when Peter said it to him, he rebuked him. As we can see in Matthew 16, we'll start with 21. From that time, Yahushua began to show his disciples that he must go to Jerusalem and suffer many things from the elders and chief priests and scribes and be killed, and on the third day be raised. And Peter took him aside and began to rebuke him, saying, Far be it from you, Master, this shall never happen to you. But he turned to Peter, Kepha, and said, Get behind me, Satan. You are a hindrance to me. You are not setting your mind on the things of Yahuwah, but on the things of man. Do you see that? So when somebody says that Yahuwah wants us to have our best life here, he wants us to have a good life here, no ma'am or sir. Yahuwah wants us to get to work and have a righteous life here. Not pleasurable, not material-filled, not experience-filled, not fulfilling our own desires, not our own ambitions. No, his ambition. Every man is to preach the gospel, to preach his message, to preach his word, to preach the kingdom of Elohim. That is what we are called to do by Yahushua. That is what we are called to do by Yahuwah. We're called to pick up our stake and follow Yahushua. That means to the same degree he was devoted, we are to become devoted, which means we don't look like normal people anymore. We don't have access to the normal things because people don't want to give it to us. These are the things, folks. I hope you have eyes to see and ears to hear.